Let me take the camera a little bit closer, so to change a little bit, because up to now it was almost everything in the same position. This is a homemade thing, so there's no problem. But the final part of it, Zerka, there is something that you call adjunctive methods.
Adjunctive.
Adjunctive methods. What do you mean by adjunctive?
Art, dancing, music, art. Those are all adjunctive methods.
Adjunctive methods.
Either you can even use the dream figures for the art, for instance, or let me see what your world was like in a drawing or in a sculpture, or all this. Yeah?
But and you mentioned 6. You started with hypnodrama.
Yeah, that's doing psychodrama under the process under the hypnotic process. I was hypnotized once because I was working on my phantom limb, and I saw for the first time my phantom limb under hypnosis. Visually saw it. So then you do psychodrama while in that state.
Well, then you have psychodramatic shock.
Yes, my husband did that with a patient who was being very wild, and he stopped her. That's kind of a shock. Stopped her, and he said, "No, you've been doing this now for weeks. We can't do this anymore." So he shocked her out of it, out of that wild, hallucinatory phase, because she had been worked on it for weeks. He said, "No, that's no longer relevant. Stop." And there is also a psychodramatic shock therapy report in one of the early journals of sociology, how he worked with a patient on shock therapy. And it's also challenging them to change their behavior.
Now, then we have a third...
Well, I'll tell you how I did psychodramatic shock. There's a young man, psychologist, who brings his younger brother to me because he's a terrible problem. He lives with his parents, but the fact is that his parents are aging, and they're moving from New York to Florida. They've sold their house, in which the younger brother lives, who's very dependent, and they are moving in 2 weeks to Florida. And he has refused to find another place for himself. So I said, all right, I understand. It's now 2 weeks from now, your parents have gone. You're standing on the street with your suitcase. Where are you going to go? It worked. It shocked him into the realization he has to do it. But it was shock therapy in a gentle way. But realistically, they're not here anymore. You have to think of doing something for yourself.
You take the person by surprise by presenting something that is unexpected.
You intensify the experience in a way that they're not able to do themselves, in order they can see what they're doing to themselves.
Yeah. Then we have improvisation for personality assessment.
Personality assessment. Yes. This means a young man is looking for a job, and it's his first job, and he's very nervous. So we improvise the scene to make him feel that he can manage it. And also, we do that also with assessment. I mean, you have some people who are difficult to deal with in your world, and you think, how can I assess their personality? Now, psychodramas can help you with that.
Then, didactic psychodrama and role-playing.
Yes, that's an educational form, obviously. Yeah, using role-play. You're the student, you're the teacher. This is the context of the confrontation. That's it. And it may not be a real one, but it may be something that the whole group has experienced at one time or another.
Yeah. And now let's reverse. Then you are no longer the student, you are the teacher, and you take that role.
Yeah.
Fine.
It's taking a role other than the self, but it's reality-based.
Then there is something here, psychodrama combined with narcosynthesis, LSD,
Oh yes,
etc.
that's using the various drugs. Actually, it didn't work with LSD. Narcosynthesis is when they used to put people under medication. We had insulin shock. Actually, we found that the more medication you use, the worse it is, the less of psychodrama you can use. But there were some people who were trying to do that.
And then finally, from your list, you have this family psychodrama and family therapy.
Yeah. Well, you saw the article I showed you. Time, reality, space, reality, and the family. We worked with an entire family. I think if you are interested in that, it's very specific on how it worked.
Yeah. Working with family.
I think it's in my book.
Yeah.
In the last book, there's the quintessential Zerka.
Yes.
It's in there.
Yeah. Yeah, but people don't know. People who are.
No, it's
well,
very interesting to work with the family.
But from all these, Zerka, now it was, this paper was, came in, well, at least here 1982. I'm assuming that this was written before, but It was
written before. That book is, what date is that book?
This book was done in copyright 1964.
Okay.
It
was done in 64.
Yeah.
And then so many copies.
Sorry, 69.
69.
69.
And what does it say there on the monograph?
Well, the date of printing was 82.
So that was later.
Yeah. But is there any update that you think that
no,
it's...
I haven't updated it.
No, but do you think that there is something really new?
Oh, if I
that,
did it now, I would write it probably differently. Use some of the same ideas, but describe them differently.
Well, that's it. So, to end this, if not yet ended, so how we could end that video?
Yeah, on what?
How could we end the final part of the video?
Okay, well, all I can say is I'm not assuming you can use all these methods. This is strictly for teaching purposes.
Yeah. Good?